Ay, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? Why? Ay, 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 why? ¿Por qué? Stupid short sellers and their stupid games, right? I'm just messing with y'all. What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy D. You know what it is? Let's get it. It's time to talk about what the heck happened today in the markets, right? And the volatility, right, is definitely there, guys. All right, guys, let me start off by saying you already know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Don't take it for that. Take it for entertainment and educational purposes, and especially for the educational purposes, right? Like I said, I'm no expert. Like, I have my knowledge, I have my experience, guys, and that's what I bring to you, my genuine opinion and what I think is going to happen, right? Yeah, but we are not the same traders, right? All the retail traders that have been in this, like in the AMC, GameStop, all the meme stocks, blah, 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 right? We are not the same traders, guys, that we were a year ago or a year and a half ago, right? When this whole thing started. Now, I've been in the market just a little bit longer, right? I think I hit my 4-year mark or so, but if I can bring this knowledge to you guys, that's what I'm gonna do. And if it can help you trade and make decisions, or whatever, like it's not financial advice, but with the knowledge, guys, you can make your own guesses and decisions on with your money, right, on where you want to put it and play, right? So today, guys, I'm going to go over some more information on FTDs. I know that this is kind of a hot topic, and I think this is, a big way that the big money, the institutions and all that, I think, in my opinion, guys, that's how they are screwing us over and over in different stocks, right? Because especially what I see with BBIG, guys, right now, doesn't add up in any way or shape or form, right? Okay, so remember that. I'm going to talk about FTDs. I'm going to talk about some information on AMC, on BBIG, of course, and Lucid. Thank you to the new subscribers. I got a bunch of them yesterday, guys. We're rolling strong, and I got some love, right? I got some tweets and stuff, and I really appreciate that. And every single viewer that comes in here and watches my videos and takes the time, I appreciate you guys, all right? But I got you with the information that I find, right? So let's roll into it, guys. Back up, back up, back up. All right, guys. Right here. So FTDs, right? Let's start off with this one right here, just to kind of touch on what a failure to deliver is. Failure to deliver occurs when one or more member of a transaction does not deliver on the respective comments or commitments when trading. Once any trade has been made, both parties will need to pay and deliver the underlying asset by a specific settlement date, right? Which the US stock market has a T+2 system, which normally takes the trade for it to settle. It takes up to 48 hours, all right? Let's see. An unsettled transaction results in a failure to deliver, something most traders will be keen to avoid, right? This could happen because the party in the short position doesn't actually own the underlying assets believed to be in their possession, or the party in the long position can't pay for the transaction, right? So it can be from the buying side or the selling side. A failure to deliver can take place when there is a technical issue in the clearinghouse. Okay, so the clearinghouse, pay attention to that. That is responsible for the trade. In the case of forward contracts, the party who holds the short position fails to deliver. It can cause serious problems for the party who holds the long position, aka, just to give you an example, for AMC, right, or BBIG, right? This can be because large amounts of commodities are involved in these contracts, and when the short doesn't deliver, it can be problematic for the long position's business strategy, right? All right, remember that. Pay attention to that. Failure to deliver can take place in the derivatives and equity markets. Cool. A quick summary. This one's kind of short, and then this one expands on it, guys. And this one, again, right? So failure to delivers is when a seller lacks to deliver an asset and a buyer fails to produce payments by the settlement date, right? Let's see. In a trade, both the buyer and the seller are obligated to transfer assets or money before the settlement date. Let's see. It delays, mismatching, or missing information, inability to pay, or not possessing the asset to deliver, the most typical reasons for a failed transaction. Okay. I'm really trying to expand on it so we understand what it is. All right. This is one of the parts that really stood out to me. Okay. Failure to deliver is crucial in naked short selling. What have we been talking about for a while now, right? And it happens when a person intends to sell a stock that neither they nor their connected broker holds, and they have no method of proving the capacity to access such stocks. Kind of weird, right? So yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this up, because in my opinion, guys, they're kind of screwing us, right, with the FTDs, and with especially with BBIG and AMC, there is a lot of FTDs that have come up, right, or in the past, right. All right, guys. So what really stood out to me, what I learned today, right, is that a clearinghouse is recognized as a mediator between a seller and a buyer in a financial market. The clearinghouse's responsibility is to validate and finalize the transaction, ensuring that both the seller and the buyer meet their contractual duties to handle such a function. Each financial market has a recognized clearinghouse or an internal clearing division. So this has a lot to do also with the clearinghouses. All right, guys. Companies currently have up to 3 days following the trade to complete the payments based on the market. After that, the securities and cash should be handed to the clearinghouse for settlement. If firms are not able to reach this target with the period, they will fail. Different settlement requires apply to fixed income instruments, option stocks, and futures contracts. All right. So just to point that out, right? Let's start off here with AMC, guys, right? The chart, right? I mean, it's still the same. What I did like, this is the 15-minute. Let me go out to the daily real quick. And I'm still going to point this out. The RSI is still way too low, indicating that it's way oversold, right? And there's still massive short positions open that we talked about yesterday. Volume at below average, 34 million. And it was down -2% for the day, okay? So the next pain here, guys, like what we're looking at here, if it's going to keep coming down, is going to be at this level, right? So 1650, right in that range. We'll hope to see a reversal soon. There will be a reversal at some point, guys. The MACD is still indicating there's more downside to come. Not that and that's in the short term, all right? I'm just talking about, because of what's going on with the options chain and all that, we're still in this huge downtrend. When's the last time that AMC had a green day, right? So it's been a few, like a baby green day maybe there, but it's been a while, right, since AMC had a big green, like a 20%, 30%, a big day, right? So that's not really what I'm here to focus on. What I want to connect this to is going to be to the failure to delivers, all right? And then the other thing I want to point out, right, is like when it comes to shorting, how is it that shorting volume is like, this is BBIG right here. So 67 million short volume yesterday, okay? How is that possible when supposedly there's no shares? Utilization is at 99.88%, right? So where are these shares coming from, guys? How are they able to turn this up like this, right? To be able to short. So in my opinion right now, like, I'm going to point out what I saw with BBIG, the strengths and the weaknesses or whatever, but this shouldn't even be possible right here, right? Just still talking about FTDs. Okay, FTDs right here, right? So these dates, I didn't highlight this red. This is because this is extreme. This is the website doing this, right? And they're showing you that for BBIG, that's why I think that today's pullback was actually kind of healthy for the move that it had, because you can't just keep going up and up. In my opinion, it was healthy, and I think we have more things to come, right? Like, because when the move started was right here, right? The 12th and the 13th, and you saw this volume come in, right? And then we still, have 172 million volume, still decent, but yesterday was like almost 300 million volume, 280 some. But there's a big dollar amount here that is coming up, that is due by the 25th. And this has to relate back to December when, these market makers or whoever was shorting this, right? They didn't have the underlying shares, right? In my opinion. So that's what is causing these FTDs. And now they're having to deliver them. But as well as just delivering them, they're probably creating more FTDs for the next, right? It's just like a cycle. It just keeps going. And that's how they're able to keep the price down. Because you're looking at, if you look at this report, right, the volume is insane. And here's for AMC, right? So again, like, the shorting, that's why the price doesn't go up, guys, because the percentage, is way higher, 64%, 65%, right? This is, you have more selling pressure on the stock every single day. So you're not going to really be able to, unless you have a big rush of buyers or a new catalyst, right? That brings in more buying pressure. And that's how you're able to get the, the price to move up. That's why we've seen a lot of red days, in my opinion, right? Like back here. So what I want to show you here, guys, like this is the only time that the shorting, right? November 5th through the 24th. This was the only time that, the shorts took a little small break where it was the lowest throughout this whole time, right? It was the lowest that the shorting had ever been in this time frame, okay? Now let's go look at the chart here and look at those dates. So I believe it was the 11th, let's see, the 10th through like the 18th, something like that. And let's go look at the daily chart, right? So November, right here. It was this week right here, right? So what happens when they actually stopped shorting us as hard, as heavy, right? You get this little run up and a push up, right? And then what happens, I talked about it yesterday. They took out three hedge funds, right? That I pointed out in yesterday's video. They took out more positions, short positions and puts, and they brought all this pressure, and that's what made it, fall down. And that's when Lou and all them, the YouTubers, were saying, "Oh, don't buy shares, don't buy shares. There's nothing that we're gonna do." Well, when you take off the buying pressure, guys, in my opinion, that's also what happened, right? Boom, goes down. Okay, now let's move on to BBIG, guys. Okay, this is the daily chart, or the 10-minute chart actually. It was down negative 12%. It's having a little run. It's up 4% in the after hours, but it was down negative 12%. At the peak though, it was down 20%. So this little bounce that it got right here, that was a nice recovery. Because what happened is, as soon as you lost, it was trading sideways. As soon as you lost that VWAP, it came down, right? And this looks like a short ladder attack, all right? I've talked about this in the past, guys, where it's always the same pattern, right? 1, 2, 3, and then we caught a bounce because this is the support, right? The other thing that happened is you filled this gap. There was a big gap here that made it bounce up to this, resistance, and it got rejected. Came down, traded sideways. So big money got, I was like, oh, all right, I already played this. I made, X amount, and they dumped it too. So that can also help, bring the price down. But like I said, I think there's more FTDs that have to be delivered. Look from that data, right? From here, stocks era, this one. And from these dates, you still have the 20, the 21st, the 24th, and the 25th. They have up until that day, right, to deliver these shares, these FTDs, okay? So right here with the chart, what I was pointing out here is you have the stair stepping, the bounce, okay? Now, I'm still going to be bullish. I think we're going to come back and test this area tomorrow, okay? But what the goal is for these market makers and the hedge funds right now is they want to keep it under $5, okay? And I'm going to point out why. But, these are the things you got to pay attention to with TA, guys. You have the support and you have the resistance, and you see this, what the stock did, right? Past week went up all the way up here, got rejected. It tried, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, got rejected. It came down. Now this could be another, just a little, like another blip like this, right? Where you have a little bit of a sell-off, and then you find support and you break through and you run up, right? But if you're bearish, guys, I'm going to give you the both sides, right? I'm more bullish. I still see the volume here, and I have reason to believe why it can still run, okay? And like I said, I'm not the same trader. I have more knowledge. The past year, I've learned about how the FTD worked. FTDs work, the options, more of the clearinghouse. I've learned a lot more than just what is in front of you or whatever. But this is what you learn, right? So the VWAP, as long as it stays above, as soon as you lost the VWAP, it came down, right? And then you have the supports here, okay? But again, like if it starts to come down, then you're gonna want to see a bounce like it did right here, right? I didn't even touch it, but that's where I had it drawn out. And then you would expect that 328 to be support, and then 280 to be support, all right? Now they haven't released any official news, right? So that's why you probably maybe see this little bit of a pullback, but that's what we need, is the Cryptide news, which is what kind of started this whole thing. Just another review, right? So you had this big push Um, oh yeah, okay. What I wanted to do though was go back to the 30, and we're gonna draw out this Fibonacci before we go there. So Fibonacci extension is that you take a bottom, the top, and then the retracement, right? So we have the retracement already. Let's go back and let's look at what's going on here, right? So we can get an idea of what can happen tomorrow and Friday, all right? What I want to see is it's going to come back. If it can go above this, that means it's going to go above VWAP and it'll give it strength, right, to go higher. If it gets rejected here at this line, then it's going to come back down and then try to find support here, see if it can hold it and come back, right? Or if not, come down. But as long as the volume continues to go, and right here, what I want to point out is the 30-minute chart is like you're about to get that reversal, I think. And the RSI is sitting perfect, right? So if we move out to the daily chart, just what I'm going to show you guys is that the RSI was really, really hot. When it goes above, that's usually indicating that it's overbought, right? So it might come down. So that's what it did. So what I would want to expect is like, okay, maybe it'll come down a little bit more, but then it'll be fine to start making its move back up. Okay, and the MACD is still looking strong here. So you still have this volume push. That's what you want to see. The volume leveled out there, it says, right? But you need to see right here, sorry, the volume. Or it went down, yeah, a little bit. But you need to hold these levels of volume, right, in order to keep pushing the price up. So yeah, these are just the Bollinger Bands, guys. It bounced, right, and now it crossed, and now it's gonna see if it can keep moving. But this is what also, if you're day trading, I think this kind of helps you a lot, right? Because this would have told you like the area, the strength, and then boom, you would have seen the peak right there, and then you would have been a good time to get out, right? And if you got in like say like here or here, and you were just kind of day trading, swing trading it, quick flip. I still think there's more potential, guys. This has risen all the way to $12, right? So I think it still has a good amount of room to run. Alrighty, so the reason BBIG, right, they want to keep it under $5, right, because of this. These are the calls. Right now the price is 468, so this is a lot of calls. For my bullish theory, by Friday, guys, I want to be able to close above 5, right? That would show really good strength. And now anything above it too, right? I mean, that's a lot of shares there at $6, right? Contracts. You always multiply this times 100, right? So that would be 8 million shares that they would have to go find. 16 million shares that they would have to go find. And again, guys, how, right? How if the people are holding, if the apes are holding, whoever, right? And utilization is at 99.88. How do you locate all these shares if you have all this run? And in my opinion, that's what causes the gamma squeeze, right? So let's go, real quick to look at the AMC one. Is the same, right? Puts and calls. The reason Lou keeps, pointing out this $20 range, right? He said to go buy and let's push it above 21 if we can, is because of this, right? These puts. This is a lot of puts, guys. And then, up to, it'd be even better if we could get some movement up to 23, right? For AMC, and if it could close out above 23, it would remove these and it would remove the selling pressure, right, for next week. And where are we at here on the calls? You still have like so much gas, guys. If it were to run up a little bit to $20, $30, $40, guys, it would trip some wires, right? It would cause market makers to go and find and locate shares, all right? And especially at the 40, man. I mean, that's 62,000 right now, guys. I mean, I know this keeps going up. I know more people are buying them, but it's that one's a little rough, right? A little tough, unless we have a massive explosion in price. But anything can happen in the market, guys. You never know. Literally anything can happen, right? Okay, let's move on. And again, with AMC, the max pain is 21. And I already showed you the naked shorting report, right? With all this shorting, yep, the volume. And then here, the calls, all right? So 63,000 calls are in the money right now. That's 6.3 million shares, right? That they would have to go if the people who are holding this, if they decide to execute them, right? Which means that they're gonna buy the shares. And that's the whole thing, right? That's the whole fight right now. And that's what we're fighting for, because the market makers know that there is gamma squeeze potential there, okay? They're the ones who write all these contracts, guys, all right? Most of them. There can be retail that does this too, but, of course, it's going to be the big crazy hedge funds and all that. In the money, right, puts, they're way up right now. So 151 versus 63, but that's what they're obviously trying to do, is knock it down, knock it down. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to Lucid now. So let's point this out. The chart here, we'll start off with the chart. Volume was at 36 million, which is low, right, compared to its average, but it was still had a bit of a green day. And I've been talking about this $40 level now for a while, right? I said 45 is one of the supports, and this 40 is a really strong support, guys. So it's been tested a couple times, right? You see a bounce here, runs up, comes back down to it, bounces. I don't even want to see it come down here, right? There's been a lot of bearers, out there that are talking about the fundamentals and this and that, but this is trading like Tesla. This is trading as like, you don't look at the fundamentals right now, right? They're trading on forward momentum and forward thinking, right? That's how it gets its huge valuation, guys. I mean, it's worth $63 billion, okay, currently. And this is the another support that has caught it. And yesterday, right, it came all the way down and it bounced. So now the bears, I think, are kind of sweating it, right? Because the lockup period ended today. And so it's not completely over. Tomorrow, guys, sorry, excuse me. Tomorrow you can still have the possibility of the sell-off, because the lockup period ends today, right? So at midnight, all right? So I think tomorrow is actually when you need to look out for that situation that we've been talking about, we've covered in the past videos. The majority shareholder has the option to sell shares. I don't think they're going to sell them, guys. They're partnering with them. They're trying to open, right? Like they're going to open a factory, hopefully, right, in 2025 in Saudi Arabia, right? Because that's the major shareholder. So to me, that's bullish. Like, right, why would they pull their investment if they're going to be working with them, right? And the short interest, right, was like 15-16%. That's a lot. It was almost 100 million shares, right, that they have to pay back if this goes sideways for them, if this goes the wrong way for them, which could give us a little push, up. So let's just look at the 2-minute chart. This is the closer view of what happened. There's good times in the market and there's bad times, guys. I mean, right now, overall, these are the bad times, all right? So take it, you got to take it for what it is, because eventually there will be a huge reversal in the market where it'll lift all the stocks up, okay? So yeah, always look out for the gaps. This gap has been filled here now, right? And then you have this downward pressure, but the key thing is that it's holding the 40, okay? And I like how it's holding the 40 support. So let's go ahead and move on to this right here. So why the Lucid stock got a lift today? What happened? Lucy Goosey Lucid grew, right? What a way to start that. Stock is wandering higher in Wednesday's trading morning, rising 5.8%. Let me look at the chart. Yeah, so it closed, it's down 0.35% after hours, but it was up 2.9% for the day. And, one day after the electric car slumped on revelations that it probably isn't going to be hired by Apple's electric car after all. This website had a bit of good news that it took away the sting for Lucid shareholders. Maybe Apple doesn't love Lucid, but hey, Jay Leno does, right? Because Jay Leno, he put a review on his Garage show on YouTube. The former late night comedian noted that it opened up with a line calculated to delight early Lucid investors. No matter how bad of a day you're having, and Lucid shareholders certainly had a bad day yesterday, right? That's what he said. Feeling the rapid acceleration of a Lucid Air electric car will cure it. It's really good. It's really good. So he likes the 1,000, right? It has 1,011 horsepower. And reminding viewers that Lucid Air was just named, the 2022 car of the year for Motor Trend, Leno explained that he didn't want to run a segment on the Air until it actually had cars available for sale, right? Lucid is going to deliver about 500 cars this year, however, noted Leno, and so the time had come to review it. And he likes it. Comparing it to Lucid Tesla, Leno expressed that The hope that having two fine electric automobile makers in the market will encourage each company to up its game and make increasingly better automobiles, right? Competition, competition, guys, is good when it comes in, right? When you just have Tesla, you know, it's just going to be, it's like a monopoly, right? Kind of like it's their way. But when you have competition, now you have both of them working harder to be the better one, right? That's just how I look at it. And yeah, he was singing the praises of Tesla, in particular, pointing that Tesla is probably 8 to 10 years ahead in battery technology. In Leno's estimation, Tesla deserves its 1 trillion valuation because they are that much more ahead of the companies that are sort of trying to copy Tesla in a way, right? Whether one of those companies, Lucid, deserves its own $68 billion valuation, or even today's 5.8 jump stock remains to be proven. All right, cool. Yeah, so guys, I mean, I'm definitely holding my shares. You know, I try to buy when I can here and there, right? Like just to keep adding. And if I see a dip, I'm like, ooh, because I believe in this company in the long term, right? Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. The last thing I'm gonna point out here is that there was this part I remembered that was saying that usually it's not retail, right? It's not your average trader that causes these fails to deliver, right? Because most of the time the retail guys, they're coming in with their cash, right? Their money, and they already have the money to buy the stock. So the FTDs, when they happen, guys, it's on the backside, right? It's on with the clearinghouse and the hedge funds and all that. And yeah, here we go. This is not a trade that an average person can perform, right? Just to give you more room and more data and more conviction, guys, on why you should keep holding, right, your shares, especially with AMC, guys. You know, that's what I got for you guys. All right, so thanks for coming back. You know, thank you for the growth, for the views and all that, guys. Like, we're pushing, we're gonna do this, right? And 2022, I can already tell, is gonna be an awesome year. All right, guys, so hang in there. I'll catch you tomorrow. All right, later.